Season's greetings and a very good afternoon to you wherever watching us from. This is TV47 News. We are about to inform you on what is happening across the 47 counties of the Republic, and we begin with the highlights. Top on news now. Health Ministry confirms one more Mpox case, making a total of 29 cases recorded in the country so far.
We have one new Mpox case that has been confirmed. That is in Mombasa County.
Although doctors of top-tier doctors will work, they need the support crew or the support staff.
Government urged to address healthcare workers' plight as doctor strike kicks off tomorrow. Also, Embu County leaders have been urged to stop political wrangles and infights and focus on development.
Wakati kuko na msukasuko ya watu kungangana hii namna hii haitatusaidia.
22047 is the short SMS code. The hashtag on X is TV47 News Now. My name is Samson Jura. Let's begin. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki is at Moi Gardens in Lodwar, Turkana County for an interdenominational ceremony. The DP was received by the County Governor Jeremiah Lemurkai among other local leaders. The ceremony was which also serves as a Thanksgiving service for Turkana clergy and the nation's unity during the festive period. Kindiki was accompanied by local leaders. To some matters health, the Ministry of Health has confirmed another case of Mpox in the country, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 29. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Modhoni confirms the case was recorded in Mombasa County, stating that out of the 29 cases, 18 people have been treated, recovered and discharged, while 10 people are in hospital. Speaking in Kiriko Village, Kirinyaga Central, Modhoni has assured Kenyans that the government has intensified surveillance in border entries and screening of all people coming into the country.
For ours, we have one new Mpox case that has been confirmed. That is in Mombasa County. And this brings the total number of Mpox cases to 29. The recoveries are 18 out of the 29 and the admissions are 10. So we still have people who are in hospital and have not recovered. Our National Public Health Lab has received a total number of 328 samples. It is important to note that the people who are getting this disease mostly probably, and if you look at the counties that have this disease, are actually along the highways. So it is important, if you know of anybody who has contracted this disease, it is important for them to equally isolate.
Still on matters health, as healthcare workers in public hospitals across the country prepare to stage a nationwide strike starting tomorrow, the government has been urged to prioritize paying their dues. Speaking after the graduation in perioperative care from JFC Munene College in Thika, students slated for internships expressed their dismay at the lack of proper government intervention. Violet Ominga, a graduate, emphasized the need for the government to cut unnecessary expenditure and reroute funds to address the grievances of the striking medics. However, the impending strike underscores the urgent need for sustainable solutions to the challenges facing Kenya's healthcare system, particularly the welfare of its frontline workers.
We believe that although doctors of top-tier doctors will work, they need the support crew or the support staff to be able to provide them with the instruments that they need.
Actually, it has not been well because interns are working a lot of hours you find that an intern is working for 36 hours and above. That is not good. And the government is bringing a lot of doctors in the country, and yet we have a lot of doctors in this place. So please, kindly, we are urging our government to look at that, because let our doctors have works at their country, because we need everybody to have a work, and we as graduates also need works, because we are done with these studies and we also need work.
Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwenge Motuse has waded into the delayed constitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, accusing Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka of a political interference of the process. Speaking during the burial ceremony of Naomi Mulatia at Kalungu, Kibwezi West, Motuse said the IEBC selection panel should be allowed to carry out its mandate for commissioners to have enough time to prepare for the next general election and also carry out pending by-elections in various regions.
Lakini tumeona kwamba kuna karata. Kuna watu ambao wanaenda kotini, wanazuia IEBC isitengenezwe ndio warushie serikali maneno. Na tunataka tutangaze leo kwamba wale ambao mnafanya karata ya kutaka tusitengeneze IEBC, you must declare your intentions. Kwa sababu sisi mahali tulipo tunataka IEBC itengenezwe. We wanted IEBC last year. We wanted IEBC yesterday. We want IEBC today. And we know the people who are derailing IEBC ndio ionekane kwamba serikali ndio itaki IEBC. You get political marks. Na tunataka kueleza kwamba karata yenu tunaijua, and we will not allow you to derail Kenyans. IEBC must be constituted. The selection panel lazima ikue. Tutaenda kotini, mimi kama wakili tumalize hizo makesi, so that we pave way so that Kenyans can have an independent electoral and boundaries commission.
Still in the eastern region, a section of leaders in Embu County have been urged to put an end to political disputes and concentrate on development. According to Embu Senator Alexander Mundingi, lately, Embu has been characterized by political intrigues and differences between the county government and the members of parliament, which have frequently played out in public gatherings. Further, Mundingi has called on leaders to be peace ambassadors in the county.
Wakati kuko na msukasuko ya watu kungangana hii na muna hii haitatusaidia. Na nikiwa senator wa Embu County, kwa sababu mimi kazi yangu ni kuunite, ningeomba makanisa yote katika Embu County iweze kuomba vile tulianza hii safari mwaka wa 2022 wakati tulichaguliwa, tuweze kurudi kwa ile njia ya kusemesana, ya kuongea. Kwa hii kipindi imembakia ndio tuweze kuona maendeleo. Kwa sababu ningesema Embu County, mwananchi hataki kujua maendeleo imeletwa na nani, na tunajua county imesimamiwa na governor. Serikali ya Kenya Kwanza ambayo inaongozwa na William Ruto na ambaye na deputy wake Professor Abraham Kindiki Kithure, tunaona kwa hii kipindi ya miezi 2 ati amani imeonekana katika Kenya. Ningeomba watu wa Embu tusipigane kama county zile zingine, ndio tuweze kuona matunda.
And as more than 4.5 million youth in the country continue to struggle with the joblessness, students joining universities have been urged to choose courses wisely to enable them compete effectively in the job market. This is according to Veronica Kamau, an expert in hospitality, tourism and international relations, challenging the students to ensure their course of study are set to help them find creative employment opportunities in the shrinking job market. Speaking during Zetech University Open Day in Ruiru, Kiambu County, Dr. Henry Kiogora, the head of Department, Business and Economics at the private varsity, noted the need to identify the talents of pupils at an early age, at the early stages of education, to enable them pursue their careers and exploit them fully.
Apart from the grade, we always say, please choose, look at your strengths and your weaknesses. Because we are saying a career is something you will do forever. So look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses on what you can be able to do.
This is a very different generation. We know what we want and we always go for what we want. So I think we should be given what we want. For instance, me, I want to do business management. I know the reasons as to why I'm there. I know the factors that have brought me to that conclusion. So I don't think I should be maybe forced or enticed to do any other or be a major in any other career.
Wow. Inatusaidia hata kama results hazijatoka. Tunasaidika kujua kenye tutafanya after results zimetoka, and we have more options. Tunasaidiwa kujua more courses that we can do.
As parents, it's always good to support your sons and your daughters in the career choices that they make. Help them get a mentor, a person who will walk with them that journey, so that even after they close school, you can always refer them to them so that they can be well guided, including even visiting them in their stations so that they can always remain motivated.
Still on matters education, over 2 million learners in Kenya's alternative provision of basic education and training APBET schools are on the brink of closing down if a 2015 directive on school registration is enforced. Speaking in Kajiado, stakeholders from the Unified APBET Schools Association highlighted the critical role these institutions play in the education sector. They urged the government to recognize APBET schools as equal partners and support them with capitation funds to help them meet registration requirements.
We do not have illegal schools in this country. What we have is we have institutions which have not been registered by the county education boards of this country. For some reasons being, one, they are in the process of meeting the minimum requirements. Yes. Number two, they are still sorting out the land ownership issues. And number three, they are supposed to be given advisory to improve on some infrastructure areas. So we, as an association, UASA Kenya, we stand here with all our members and all the schools that are found in informal settlements of this country and elsewhere in the countryside, that there is no school which is going to be closed when we are watching.
And that there was a circular specific for Kajiado County that the local schools which are not yet registered are going to be registered. You wonder now, how can you do that? And these schools are hindering our children. Already, our chairman has said that we are having challenges with the grade 9, and it is open out there. Even some of the public schools are not ready to actually host their grade 9. You wonder now what's going to happen. So, the message is clear, and we are talking on behalf of all the low-cost private schools, the way our chair has said, be it in Kajiado, be it in Machakos, everywhere. These schools must be given their space.
Meanwhile, unemployed primary teachers in West Pokot County have protested over discrimination in employment, where many have stayed over a decade after completing the training without employment. This comes a few weeks after one unemployed teacher died due to frustrations while protesting in Kapenguria 2 weeks ago. The teachers who demonstrated in Kapenguria and marched to the county TSC offices accused the County Teacher Service Commission of favoritism and corruption in employment. They were also demanding transparency and fairness in hiring practices despite their qualification and many years of waiting and commitment to their profession.
Leo tumekuja hapa kama walimu wa P1 tukiwa na kilio kwamba Nancy Macharia ni kama kuna namna anafanya employment kule juu. Ama aje walimu? Yeah. Tumeamua kama walimu wa P1 kwamba hatutarudi nyuma. Ama aje walimu? Kabisa. Hatutarudi nyuma. Sisi kama walimu wa West Pokot tunataka tuongee na county director wetu atuambie kuna shida gani.
Iwapo unapatia watu kulingana na mirengo yao, na wale ambao pengine hawatajitokeza waingie katika hiyo mirengo watapata kazi namna gani?
Kuna corruption. Hapa majuzi unapata kuna mwenzangu aliambiwa walete 1500 upate nafasi za kazi. Sisi wazazi wameuza ng'ombe, wameuza shamba. Hizo pesa zitatoka wapi? Na ninataka niwaambie President, Your Excellency, leta kifagio ifike kwa ground. Fagia watu hii TSC office Kapenguria, West Pokot Sub County na county mzima. Fagia.
Tumehangaishwa sana na hizi shule za private na kukaa nyumbani bila kazi na tuko na serikali yetu. Na kama hawataki kutuandika watupe plan B.
Utapata kwamba kuna shule ambayo haina hata mwalimu, lakini nafasi siko. Nafasi yetu sinaenda wapi? So ni kama kuna ufisadi inaendelea katika kaunti yetu, ambapo sisi kama walimu tumejitokeza leo tumesema ya kwamba wacha sisi tuje tuseme ukweli kinakokubaka, ili kwamba wakati wanaendelea kuachiri walimu watu waangalie sana.
To some concerning news, 2 out of 3 married women in Bungoma County suffer from depression, an issue that has caused many suffer from mental illness. This is according to Dr. Saul Kiberenge during the women conference that was meant to sensitize girls about ways to be independent and deal with mental illness and gender-based violence. Kiberenge has called on the county and national government to ensure that it invests heavily in mental health training in order to have a stable society. His sentiments were echoed by Elizabeth Juma, director of Wema Bukembe Development Organization, who says that they have made efforts to ensure that they promote mothers in various ways.
Just we have done recently, it shows that out of 10, 7 women are suffering some level of mental health, and they have gone through domestic violence. You can imagine that number, and that percentage is so high. And if we start empowering the young girls and the young women, we are going to salvage a generation where we shall not have the femicides, where we shall not have gender-based violence. And most of this happens because of drug abuse. Like now today we are in the cultural festivals of circumcision. Young people are now having the passage from childhood to manhood. There's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of celebrations. But as you are aware, these celebrations, there's a cost. And come January, there will be no money. And that's when the wars will start raging in families.
So we've covered different issues like financial literacy and entrepreneurship. We've also covered digital, like tools, legal tools that women can use to empower themselves, to defend themselves. We've also covered mental health and mental health awareness. We've also covered how women can take up STEM subjects and STEM careers. And so we're encouraging women to take up male-dominated careers and to engage in fields which were traditionally dominated by men.
You realize that the girls do not believe in themselves. So I'm here specifically to let them know that they are a product of their imaginations. And if we change their imagination and the way they look at themselves, then it will be easy to make a girl into a better woman.
Now, Kilifi County police officers have been warned against harassing mnazi sellers during the festive season. This comes at a time when Rabai Member of Parliament Kenga Mupe withdrew funeral transportation services in the area over claims that it was promoting death in the area. Governor Gideon Mungaro and Watamu Member of County Assembly Ibrahim Matumbo said that residents should be let free to enjoy the Christmas holidays by consuming their traditional brew without conditions. The leaders also noted that they will have a roundtable with county security officials and representatives of mnazi sellers from each of the 35 wards soon to iron out issues and agree on operating hours.
Kuna mtu anakunywa mnazi wake, wachaneni na nini na yeye. Kama kuna mama anauza mnazi wake, wachaneni na yeye. Hii ni sikukuu na tunataka watu, kwa sababu hatungependa Disemba hii tusikie mumekuja ganda hapa ati mmeshika wauzaji mnazi mumewapeleka police station pale. Sisi hatutokubali mambo kama hayo.
Kama una mangwe wenda hapa kwa municipal uchukue leseni ya mangwe yako. Ni sawa sawa. Lakini kabla tuende sikukuu, nishaongea na mkubwa wa polisi wa Kilifi, tutakuwa na mkutano na wamama wa mangwe. Kwa hivyo mtachagua wawakilishi wa kila sub county waje kwa hiyo mkutano. Tutawaruhusia watu wafanye biashara yao ya mnazi, tutawapa leseni.
Mimi nimekuwa napigwa vita sana katika mitandao. Ninaambiwa kwamba mimi Anthony Kengamupe kununua hii gari ninachangia wakazi wa Rabai wafe. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka kusema hivi, kufikia Januari tarehe 1, ile huduma ambayo nilikuwa ninaipeana ya gari kusaidia wananchi, ukiwa umefelewa, ukiwa ni mgonjwa, huduma hiyo nitaisimamisha kwa miezi 6, tuangalie hapa katikati watu wetu wasiweze kufa.
Elsewhere, President William Ruto's confidant Farouk Kibet has waded in the church versus state debate. Farouk saying that the government is not fighting with the church. Accompanied by the National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, Farouk called on Kenyans to unite for a better country.
Wapi historia yetu? Ndio tumesema na Ichung'wah, hata kama ni kidogo, tuweke historia mzuri ya kwamba tumejenga. Tunafaa kumuika, tunafaa kumtembelea, tunafaa kumshukuru. Nataka kutoa mwito kwa kanisa, tushirikiane tukiwa viongozi wa nchi. Sisi tunategemea kanisa kwa utawala wetu. Hatuwezi taka kukombana na kanisa kwa maneno ambayo haifai. Let us make peace na tuweke Wakenya pamoja, alafu ili tuweze kupigana na shetani. Ichung'wah aliongoza mambo mazuri. Kanisa pia iongoze mambo mazuri kwa maneno ya kupigana na maneno mabaya. Hatutaki ukabila Kenya, tunataka kushirikiana, tunataka kuishi kwa amani. Ndipo tufanye maneno hii. Natumaini hiyo ndio maneno itatuweka huru.
Meanwhile, the alcoholic beverages sector has urged the parliament to nullify a set of new regulations that, if implemented, could increase the cost of production by 70%. The Alcoholic Beverages Association of Kenya chairperson Eric Githua said that the part of the Sustainable Waste Management Regulations 2024 would end up causing more harm and derail progress made in sustainable waste management. Githua added that the regulations carry the risk of making businesses unattainable, as they will increase the cost of making goods and drive it so high that the goods will be unaffordable to consumers.
Yes, industry is concerned about a new set of regulations published by the government at the beginning of November this year. The regulations are among the subsidiary legislation intended to implement the Sustainable Waste Management Act's ambition to curb the careless disposal of solid waste. Just to elaborate further, manufacturers will have to pay Producer Responsibility Organization a fee to manage the post-consumer waste on the same item that paid Kenya shilling 150 on importation. This amounts to double taxation. At a fee of Kenya shilling 150 per item, and with the broad categories of goods used in manufacturing that are targeted, the cost of production in the alcoholic beverage industry is going to increase by 70%. 70% is a cost that is quite high, not only on our industry, but even on other industries.
The lack of consultation and collaboration undermines the value of transparency that our Constitution demands. We therefore urge the State Department of Environment and Forestry to pause the implementation of the EPR regulations until adequate public participation is conducted. We have also appeared before the National Assembly Committee on Delegated Legislation and have asked them that they should annul these regulations because they have not involved all stakeholders in the development.